So today I thought we might do something that's a little different. We are going out in the middle of the day, the worst time of the day to shoot. And we often don't go out in the middle of the day for a lot of good reasons, unless you're shooting something very specific. So this is just a little trip into Caddo Lake during the middle of the day in worst possible conditions. And this is about a 2-hour trip. So let's just see what it is that we can capture on this day. One of the things I love most about this time of year, this is mid to late April into early May, is that usually the water's high. There's been a lot of rain, so the water levels go up. Your vegetation that sometimes sits on the top of the water is gone for the most part because the water levels have risen. For a photographer, it's great because there's very few people out there, but it's also the greens are just popping on these sections. And so it's the only time of year that it's like that, where you can go in and find conditions like this. And it often gets overlooked, and I got to tell you, as a photographer, I'm kind of glad. But we're able to go into places that we're not able to normally go when the water is lower and the vegetation starts showing up. So this is a great time of year. So this first area that we're going into is, as you see both left and right, you see water both sides. Generally speaking, later on in the year, this is a pretty narrow canal that even for a kayak can be a little difficult to navigate. So it's a great opportunity to make it in this time of the year when the water level again is high. It's a very specific channel that's very narrow that gets back in through here, that opens up a little bit, and we'll see that here in just a second. Right here I have the motor down a little too far, so it caught ground, so we're just backing up, raising the motor a little bit. We'll keep on going. To our left here, you can see this tree that's fallen down. It actually goes completely across the path. And I gave it one shot of just going over in our current condition. But as you'll see, the little bump here, it's going to happen any moment. And there it is. We just backed up and reset our motor for the right depth and just hopped right on over that log. And that's the other thing about this time of year, is you do have higher rainfalls. The water's moving a lot more, so any loose pieces of wood, or in this case like a fallen tree, they will come across the water. So you do have to watch for those things and be prepared. And as you see, we just jump right over it. But they're always in the water here and there, so just if you're out this time of year, just be cautious of those things. Even in these bad lighting conditions, being in these forests, in these cypress forests, it doesn't matter what time of the day you're in here, there's just such a peace that comes with this, and it's pretty amazing to be out there within these areas. So we've traveled through this little forest canal, and as you can see, it opens back up. And there are little pockets like this scattered around Caddo. And really, the only way to get to these little openings is to go through these pockets and these paths. And again, that's the great thing about this time of year is the water's a little higher, so you have more opportunity to explore. So this is just one of those locations, and you get out, and it opens up, and it's just another beautiful location. That's one of the things I love about this style lake and this style wetland is that you can just keep going, and it's usually eventually something will open up that you never even thought would be there. As we get to this spot, you can already start to see, even through this wide-angle lens, you can start to see reflections. Even if there were winds, which there's really not much of today, but even if there were, these little small pockets block so much of the wind that if it's rough in the opening part of the lake, you'll get into these areas and it will be smooth. And so reflections are a big portion of what your composition can be. So you turn from looking just in the global landscape to looking for specific reflections, looking for contrast, looking for sections of trees that stand out because they're going to double up when you get into these reflections. But what a gorgeous area. And then to step back and see something like this. This is just further back through this same area, and you get into this. I mean, it's just beautiful. You start looking for all of the little elements that you can single out and create a composition that you enjoy. And everybody enjoys different things. There are plenty of people who want to do close-ups, and they want to do microscopic shots, and everybody sees things differently. And that's the beauty of a place like this, is it gives you so many opportunities to shoot something original that's just for you. As we travel through here, you can sometimes even hear the camera clicking. Just know that I've never stopped down. I've never tripod down. I've told several other photographers as they come out with me that it's almost often like slow action photography. You just adjust your style, your shooting style, so that because the boat's going to move. The only way you can get non-movement is if you tripod down into the ground in the water. And as simple as that sounds, Caddo does make that a little bit more difficult than most lakes. But that's another discussion for another day. So this area that we're going to now, that we're approaching, is a really popular area for kayakers because of its proximity to a kayak launch. And, well, it's gorgeous. There are so many great places. This is just one of them. And the popularity is for many reasons. Like I say, accessibility. It's beautiful. It's a great place. Again, not so many visitors this time of year. And in the fall, you may see 20 kayaks out here at any given moment. So, but right about in here, I'm starting to hear that kingfisher, and I love just the challenge of a kingfisher. They're a lot of fun. They're spastic little fellows, but they are sure fun to shoot. And if you get them there, it's just a personal reward. This is a location that I had never been to, never seen it, didn't know it existed. I made my way down the canal a bit, but it wasn't until I turned back around that this composition kind of appeared to me. But I loved how these two cypress were in the middle of the opening, and they were much more silhouette, but they were just formed on either side by these lines of cypress. It's just a beautiful place. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little ride along. I do love to take photographers out onto Caddo. I have several options available there. I do 2-day workshops in the fall, several weekends in a row, but also all throughout the year you can book some private time, whether it's in the morning or even sometimes in the evening. But whatever it is, just let me know. Just check us out on our website, rmpgallery.com, and you can find more information there. And have a great day.